Hello and welcome to Who Corner to Corner podcast. My name is Geoff and I'm joined tonight, as always, by my good friend Paul.
Yeah, hello everybody, that's me.
And we're also joined by our good friend Paul's daughter, Freya.
Hi.
Hi.
Lucky she is actually a good friend as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So we're doing something a little bit different tonight, aren't we? We're doing pop quiz, hot shot pop Doctor quiz. Who pop quiz. So Paul had the idea.
Well, don't blame me for this, Sunshine.
Shifted it back on
blame
you there,
me for it.
in case it doesn't work. So we had the idea to ask. Well, sort of you had the idea as well, but didn't you, Fred?
I thought it would be a lot of fun if we kind of tested our Doctor Who knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because being on a podcast, people will naturally look to us to supply them with in-depth Doctor Who knowledge. So I thought, let's put it to the test.
You told me it was going to be.
Told me not to make the questions.
Yeah.
I did. Don't make them that difficult. Make them easy.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be a lot of fun. You know, it's let's see how it goes anyway.
And we've had some questions in through Twitter as well, haven't we? So Freya's going to be.
We've had a few. Crikey.
Yeah, Freya's going to be Quiz Master. So let's kick this thing off.
Right. We are going to start off easy because that was my father's orders.
Yes, that sounds good to me.
Did he
Good
tell you
idea.
not to
Your
say
father
that?
needs to be commended.
Who wants to go first?
Let's ask Geoff a question first.
Okay, Geoff. What planet do the Ice Warriors come from?
Oh,
Mars.
easy.
Congratulations.
Why does he get all the easy
It
ones?
starts off easy.
He gets all the easy ones. I
Right.
bet mine's going to be difficult, isn't
Dad.
it? Go on. Yeah. Yes. Come
What
on.
were the last words spoken by the 10th Doctor?
By the 10th Doctor.
Oh, hang on.
See,
I know these teeth.
now-
I know these teeth.
This is easy.
No. That's the first words of the 14th Doctor. You're confused, Geoff. Now, is it? It's. I don't want to go, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Well
I
done.
don't wanna go.
Congratulations.
Can you
I had to
do
think
it
about it, though.
in the exact style that he delivered it?
Yeah. I don't want to go. I think he did actually do lots of different takes, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Various versions. He did some that really were like that, and some were more kind of, I do not want to go. A bit more actly kind of thing. a bit more Hamlet, and some of the bit more emo. I don't want to go.
He says it quite a lot, though, as well.
He
throughout
does
the
say it quite a
series.
lot. Yeah. He does
Anyway.
say that.
Question 3.
Who's
Geoff.
this to? Geoff.
What Doctor had the line, 900 years of space and time, and I've never been slapped by someone's mother?
The Ninth Doctor.
Congratulations.
It can only
Well,
really
all
be the
right.
Ninth Doctor, because that must be
When-
Jackie.
When does that happen? Was it Jackie? It was
Yeah,
Jackie,
must
wasn't
be
it?
Jackie, yeah. What episode? Could be Rose.
Oh.
Could be...
900 years, and I've never been slapped by a
It could,
human.
it could
Is that what
be...
it was?
900 years of space and time, and I've never been slapped by someone's mother.
What episode was it, Freya? Could be
Was it Rose?
Parting of the
Was it
Ways
Rose?
or...
I think it was Rose. Oh, no, it was it Aliens of London?
Yeah,
When
maybe.
he went back and she's been gone.
Oh,
for
that's
like
right.
a
She's been
long,
gone for
long
a
time.
year, hasn't she? But
Been
to
gone
them,
for
it's
a
been
year.
like 5 minutes or something.
What episode do you think it is then? Go.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aliens in London.
You?
Yeah, same. Aliens of London.
Well done.
Yes!
Hey.
Hey, we're good at this, mate. We're right in this. Phew.
Right, Dad, your next question.
Uh-oh.
What is the last piece of advice the 12th Doctor gives before regenerating? The last
piece. So that's the whole speech about never ever eat pears.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
No.
It's be kind, run fast. No. It is that speech, isn't it? What's the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
words? It's
The last little piece
Oh.
of advice. I only
Always.
want 2 words.
never fail to be kind.
That's 3
Always
words.
be kind.
That's 3 words.
It's
I
always-
want 2 words.
Be kind.
Yes.
Yes.
You were thinking of
was I
always try
thinking
to
of?
be nice but never fail to be kind.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a bit before.
Or-
it.
I should know that because I've got it written right. I used to have it written above my computer as a kind of what's the word? A sort of self betterment kind of mindset
I
thing.
quote
And then
it all the time at school, and no one ever knows what I'm on about.
that's a good thing. But then I ripped it up in a rage.
So it didn't work.
Yeah, because like what you were saying is there's like run fast.
I think the Pear's advice actually is one of the best bits out of there. It's a good speech, isn't it? Do you remember?
It's good, yeah. Then doesn't he say
his name as well?
Doctor, I let you go.
Doctor, I let you go.
Yeah.
We'll do our Capaldi impressions here.
Right. This one you can both have. This one.
Oh, okay.
So, Geoff, you first. Who do you think had the saddest death in Doctor Who?
That's a good one.
Well, Rose's death was, as I've referred to it before, the saddest event ever broadcast on TV.
Rose?
Yeah, but not death, but her parting, her leaving.
She's just dead to you, isn't she? That's it. She's locked in another universe. She's dead to me. She's gone now.
The saddest death, well, that's a bit of a trick question, actually, really, because the answer is really Adric, but I'd go with Clara, obviously, before she was magically brought back to life.
I have one.
One? Well, I've just remembered I need to go and not do this.
Face the Raven.
Yeah,
is that the one? That's where she dies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it sad then?
Because it means Clara's gone. She's left.
She wasn't.
Yeah, well, but you didn't know that at the time.
No. Although saying that, the kind of clue is there in the previous seasons with how many times Rory dies. Yeah. He dies quite a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, do you know, and was it the Ninth Doctor says, just this once, everybody lives, and then Moffat took that to heart.
Everybody lives. Yeah. That was a good one. So you're going with Clara?
I'm going with Clara till she was, brought back 2 episodes later.
Yeah. You said the saddest death is actually Adric, didn't you?
Well, I mean, that's really the only true companion death, isn't it? That I can think of. Is that right?
I'm thinking myself. Well, I mean, we had what was the name? I keep saying Katrina. It's not Katrina. Is it Katrina? Whoever it was from the Mythmakers, anyway. But I didn't really see that because I'm too young for that.
Yep.
And no, Katrina. I'm thinking Katrina in the Waves. Katarina from.
Did she travel with the Doctor?
She did travel with the Doctor. She took over from Vicky, and actually, it is quite sad because her death in the airlock does exist, and I've seen it, and it is quite moving, quite dramatic, very very dramatic. There's Sarah Kingdom who dies in a Dalek master plan, but she's only with the Doctor a few episodes, and then we don't really get any companion deaths until Adric. No. I do remember being quite shaken by that at the time when I first watched it in the 80s. And I think, that is the only one for me that's ever had a real emotional punch, mostly because people don't actually die.
But they don't, do they? No,
and especially not under Stephen Moffat's watch when they just saw you come back. But having said that, I mean, the way Rory and Amy exit the series is kind of brutal. It's very sudden. It's almost like a death, really. And the fact we see a gravestone. The 11th Doctor turns around, and he sees a gravestone with the names on, and it's wow, it is. And his grief that he feels is really quite explicit, and I think that comes through. So that's maybe quite tragic, but I think it's Adric, which is weird because everybody hated Adric at the time. You saw this one, didn't you?
Yes, you showed me this one.
But did you feel sad when you watched it?
I feel sad when anything happens. I'm a very emotional person.
So that's it then. Adric, Matthew Waterhouse's finest moment.
Right. Moving on from death.
Good.
Moving on from death.
Sadness.
Yeah, let's pick it up a little bit, shall we?
Should we do one of these? Let's do.
Well, where are you taking this from? It's no good pointing at it. The listeners can't see you.
I'm going to say it. Right, this one's from @EpaGirl67. Which companions would you like with a different Doctor to theirs?
Ooh.
So what companion Doctor relationship would you like?
That's a good
Give you some thinking time.
I think Amy and 12 could be quite interesting. I think that they're both quite
Scottish.
Sparky was what I was going to say.
Their accents would get so strong.
They would. Yeah.
I think they'd give each other quite as good as they gave, really. I mean, Clara gave quite well, didn't she? You know, she didn't really take any rubbish from 12, but I think Amy would be.
She did give him a few slaps.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. So yeah, I think they could be quite interesting together. It would be quite fun to throw Leela in with anyone, really.
Yes.
I looked at some of these questions earlier, and I was thinking about them on my drive home from work. So I thought about Leela, because she's the only sort of real kind of, not, present day type of companion, isn't she? You know, she's sort of warrior, feral, and all that kind of thing. And so that was it made it, quite different, didn't it?
Gut him with a knife.
Yeah.
Let me have him, Doctor. I'll slit him from ear to ear.
And there's no one else. There's no one else like that. And you and I were talking the other day, Paul, and it'd be quite nice maybe if like it turned out Ruby Sunday, not Tuesday. Ruby Sunday was an old, from history or something, or from the future or something like that, because they've
Leela's great granddaughter or grandmother even.
That's a lot of great.
Leela Sunday. It's not that menacing, is it? I'm Leela Sunday and I'll gotcha. So yeah, Leela would be quite good to throw in with anyone because she's so savage.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good shout, actually. I like that. I'm trying to think myself now. So, I think I was going to say Clara, actually, but then she's kind of been with the other Doctors.
Yeah, she has. Yeah,
splinters of her, haven't we? So we kind of got a glimpse of that.
Still waiting on Big Finish to do Clara Echoes box set where we get Jenna with other Doctors. Yeah, we'll probably will at this rate.
I think actually. Do you know? I would like to see Tegan and the 12th Doctor.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That would be conflicts and then some.
Yeah,
they would like you're saying actually with Leela go and no, did you say Amy?
Amy and 12. Yeah.
But I think Tegan actually with 12. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fireworks in the TARDIS, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it would. But also, actually thinking about it, I would also like to see Bill and the second Doctor. That would be fun. Because I think with Bill's kind of incessant quick talk, blah, 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 to where she talks at like 3,000 miles an hour, it's almost like verbal diarrhea. Yeah. And actually, the second Doctor does a little bit of that himself as well. But I think Bill would kind of win in that competition.
Yes. But I think he'd probably
power him down, and he'd sit there with his hands over his head going, "Oh my giddy aunt, stop!"
No, I'd noticed. I fatted her.
Yeah.
I also think actually Graham and the third Doctor, I think that they would actually have quite a lot of fun together, and I think 3 would be on the surface impatient with him, but actually I think they'd probably quite like each other. And I reckon Graham would love the Bond-style adventures.
Yeah, definitely. I would also love to see Jo Grant with any Doctor.
Yeah,
because she'd be brilliant.
Yeah,
and we sort of had a bit of a glimpse of how Ace and the 13th Doctor would kind of work together. It's kind of a little bit.
little bit. Yeah,
in the Power of the Doctor. So I think that would be a lot of fun as well, actually. Yeah, good question. I like that one. Who was that? Epa Girl 67.
Yeah, nice.
Brilliant. Thank you for that question. What's next? Quiz Master?
I'm going to do one of my questions.
Oh.
So, who should we... who is it?
Him.
It's me, Freya.
Okay. Geoff, what episode was Peter Capaldi and Karen Gillan in before being cast?
Fires of Pompeii.
Congratulations.
Easy ones. He's getting all easy ones again.
You told me to do easy ones. Right, Daddy.
Yeah.
Who does Clara say is a phenomenal kisser?
I know.
Oh, see, you can't...
It's me.
it's Geoff. Not that I can testify to that, of course. I do remember the line, but I can't think who she says it about. Is it some famous historical figure?
It's a writer. Brilliant writer. And just strictly between us, a phenomenal kisser.
That's correct. Shall I say?
Go on, you say. Yeah, because I'm blank.
Jane Austen.
Well done. Jane
Oh,
Austen.
yes, it is. Yes. He says, remembering very clearly the story and the scene that in which that happens.
No, I
do remember saying it. Where does she say it then? When is that?
It's in. Is it maybe in the Caretaker episode?
Is it?
It's in one where she's in a lesson. And
Yeah.
she's
She's with the kids. Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, isn't it? That's a funny one.
What, the episode?
Yeah, the Caretaker.
I quite like the Caretaker. I know we're not supposed to anymore because of the rights.
You like what you like, mate. I don't
Well, yeah, it's fun. What's that?
It has its moments.
Robot-y thing, and 12 has his sort of mock Ghostbusters type pack thing.
That's right. Yeah. It plays on that.
Yeah.
Do you admit you saw that one, didn't you? Because we did a 12 Doctor marathon, didn't we? We did like 3 or 4 stories in one afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, it was mad.
That was one of
I don't
them.
think it was.
You don't think it was a Caretaker?
No, it was The Magician's Apprentice, apparently.
Oh right, okay. That's a great
That's what
two-parter.
Google's telling me, so I
Well,
don't know.
if it's on Google, it's probably completely
count
correct.
Me on that.
Yeah, it must be right then. Yeah,
Because I googled the quote and it said series.
Yeah, I'm possibly wrong. She was in the classroom when she said it though.
Yeah, it is. It's in the script.
Yeah.
Jane Austen, amazing writer, brilliant comic observer, and strictly amongst ourselves, a phenomenal kisser.
That's a very good Clara impression that you did there. I could almost believe that Jenna Coleman was in the room with us.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What's next, Quiz Master?
Okay, we can do
That's Cooper Hillier, is it? Oh,
I don't
yeah.
actually know the answer.
Oh, this looks tricky. Go on, let's give it a go.
So from Cooper, in which story is the alias for the Doctor, John Smith, first used, and how does the creation of the name come about during the story? I'm going to do some fast Googling.
I
While this
think...
goes on.
Hang on, how do I know that you can't see the Google screen there, Paul?
I
can't,
can't.
it's on my
You just
phone.
have to trust me, mate. Do you trust me? Your podcast buddy for many a year. 'Cause if you don't, we might have to reassess our relationship. I think. Do you know this one?
I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Third Doctor. I know Cooper quite likes 3.
He does, doesn't he?
But why? I don't know. Maybe something to do with going into
The Third Doctor did
jail
use
to
the
see.
John Smith alias a lot, but I think it goes before that. I think Patrick Troughton, the Second Doctor, was first to use that, and I think it was the war. I don't know. In my head, I've got the War Games or Fury from the Deep, but it can't. I tell you who does it. It's Jamie. His Jamie McCrimmon, who I think it's the first time, and someone's asking the Doctor who he is and who he really is, and Jamie spots the name John Smith like it's a brand on a thing, like John Smith Manufacturing or something like that. I think, and he says that's the Doctor's name. He just blurts it right out, but it's maybe not. I don't know. The War Games or Fury from the Deep, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Might be something really weird.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to go with Third Doctor, but you're
You're going with Third Doctor.
What Doctor are you saying?
I'm saying second, but I'm not entirely sure. I might just. I'm sure. I'm trying to think because I read it in a Target, but did I see it? Did I actually watch it?
It was Second Doctor.
Yes.
Second Doctor.
Yes.
What episode?
I'm going to go. Oh God! This is who wrote this question? Is this
Cooper?
It's Cooper.
In which
coming for
story?
you, buddy.
What story do you
question.
think it was then?
I'm going to go. Oh wait, was it Zoe? Which would mean it would be the War Games. Oh, go on. I'm going to go War Games, but I think it might have been a bit earlier. Go on. I'll put my stake in the sand.
Was The Wheel in Space.
Oh! No, really?
The Wheel in Space.
The Wheel in Space. Ah!
I believe. I have just googled this at this very second, but I believe
that's broken my brain.
That I can't quite find out how. So the second part.
Does he ask how? He does, doesn't he?
He does ask how.
You bugger. Cooper Hillier, mate.
So he's gonna have to come back on us.
Yeah.
See how. Because I'm fast, but I'm not that fast.
You're not that fast.
You have to let us know,
think it is. I think it was Jamie sees something called like John Smith Manufacturing and calls the doctor John Smith. Here, John Smith, eh? And the doctor just kind of goes with it. And then he always used the alias afterwards. It was used a lot in the Third Doctor. And then once or twice with Tom Baker. And I think it was rarely... It popped in and out. And then, of course, the big thing with David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, in Human Nature, where he went under John Smith.
And Smith and Jones. And
Smith and Jones, you're right.
Did he use it, when in School Reunion as well?
He did. Was he? Yeah. Yes, he was Mr. Smith. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And, of course, Sarah Jane's computer is called Mr. Smith as well,
Mr.
isn't
Smith,
it?
I need you.
And Sarah Jane Smith. And there's a lot of Smithage.
A lot of Smiths, yeah.
Luke Smith.
Smith, yes.
What's her daughter called at the end just before?
Sky,
that's
Sky.
right.
You like
Sky Smith.
Sky. So sad she died.
So sad. It was.
I will never get over that. I cried. Not that I was like, was I alive? Yeah,
Was you what?
alive. I was alive.
You were alive.
I'd hope so, otherwise that's
I
impressive.
know, but I mean, when I watched Sarah Jane Adventures, it obviously wasn't when it aired.
It was late.
It was after.
DVD.
So I watched it on DVD and it was on iPlayer for a bit.
Good question.
So I watched a little behind
you
the
kind of
scenes
binged
thing.
it on iPlayer,
I
didn't
did
you?
binge it.
Because it was coming off quite
and then I
soon.
got it on DVD to finish it. But yeah, and then I watched a behind the scenes thing where they were talking about Elizabeth Sladen dying and how they had to cut the series short because of that, and it made me really sad.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I just cried.
We both watched that last episode,
Yeah.
didn't we? And I was feeling emotional, Geoff. Honestly, I think that because the added impact that it was
supposed to be so much longer.
Yeah, and it was Liz Sladen's,
it was
wasn't
just before my 4th birthday.
Anyway, we've got another question.
We do have another question.
Come on in.
All right, Geoff.
Yep.
How much money does Yaz give PC Anita Patel?
50p.
Congratulations.
50p
Thanks.
again, he's getting all the easy ones.
This is actually a hard one.
I don't like the way this is going.
Dad, how much did Bowtie sales rise by after Matt Smith became the Doctor?
How does Geoff get 50p? And I get how much did Bowtie sales rise?
I can answer how much Harris Tweed sales rose after his jacket.
Go on. How much was that then?
A lot.
A lot.
Wow.
Equally, Bowtie sales, a lot.
I need
A
percentage.
Okay, is this in the UK?
I believe.
It's just it doesn't specify, so
No.
it could be worldwide.
Be worldwide.
Either way, it
I
doesn't
don't know.
really matter, does it?
It's still a percentage.
Playing for time. I'm going to go for 75%. I think it was that massive. I think Matt Smith was so popular and so global a phenomenon and wore his bow tie incredibly well that the entirety of bow tie manufacturing and sales rose globally by 75%, thereby saving the universe from an entirely miserable recession that would have seen us all walking happily into oblivion just to be able to eat.
Okay. Geoff, you can answer this one as well.
I'm going to go with something crazy like 500%.
You're that is crazy. What kind of a commercial world are you living in?
The answer is, do you want to do some dramatic stuff?
We'll put it on in the edit. Dramatic drama.
94%.
Oh,
94%, really? Wow,
that's 94%. I'm closest.
I got that information off Newsround.
That's amazing. So actually, who wins that question then? We should have done points.
I think you win.
Yeah, I think
win.
you do.
I win because I was closer. Geoff loses.
You can get like half points. You weren't very accurate. Right, shall we do another one from Twitter?
Another one from Twitter, eh?
Let's go to the bottom.
There's a lot. There's quite a lot in there, isn't
yeah,
there?
we did get some good questions.
Asked a few there. Oh, some people have answered them as well. Thanks for that.
Really?
Nice one.
Favourite side/guest character?
You go first,
That
Paul.
is from at Mrs. J. McCrimmon.
Oh, Mrs. J. McCrimmon, yes, yeah. Thanks again for another favourite side. Was it favourite side slash
guest character?
Side/guest character. Right. Okay. I got it. I've got it here. Right.
Do you want to say yours then first?
Yes, I do. Right. So my
Jeff
favourites, or one of my, I've got many favourites here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with, because this kind of mood I'm in right now, the fabulous Binro from the Rebos operation, which is actually in my head the Ribos operation, and I can't remember who played him, but I'm sure Freya can find it out.
What was his name?
Binro.
Spell
Doctor Who, literally Binro. So this is a guy, right, who is in, it's a Robert Holmes scripted story, latest Tom Baker Key to Time season. It's the first story of the season, and it's almost like Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones done for like 2.5p as opposed to everything else, right? And in the course of the story, the Doctor finds himself locked in these catacombs beneath this wintry sort of citadel sort of place. And there he comes across Binro the Heretic. That's the fella who is played by, is that him? Timothy Bateson. It's brilliant. It's one of these little character things. So he's a little kind of dirty hermit, like, who's been lost in the darkness for so long, and he's got some weird kind of physical and sort of tics and things. And he was cast down there for suggesting that there could be life on other planets. And it starts off, he's quite jokey and he's a bit of a laugh, and it's one of those things, and Tom Baker plays off him, but he's in there for a few episodes. It's a 4-episode story, and in episode 4 he tragically meets his maker. And I kid you not, that little bit character who's a bit of a joke, when he dies, or in the lead up to that, he becomes so real, so three-dimensional, right? You feel his story. The fact that he's being cast down here just for looking beyond, just for suggesting that there might be more to life than what we can see around us, more to the universe than the rituals and endless processes that we install around ourselves to make ourselves feel good. And this is all told through the Reban Society, and it's a society that is literally locked in the ice that surrounds it. But Binro saw beyond it, and when he dies, the Doctor tells him, Binro, you were right. You were right. Really? And his face just lights up as he dies, and it's like, oh man. That's good. And I love that because the writing is very sharp. It's very on point. There's not masses and masses of dialogue, but every bit of dialogue counts. And what's his name? Jeremy Bateman, was it? I didn't know that. Timothy Bateman. And he plays it so believably well. Initially, as I said, a bit of a laugh, but throughout the whole thing, you really warm to it, and you feel it, and that's one of my favourite stories, actually. It's not often quite well liked because it's almost like a story in which nothing actually happens, but I love it. The world building is brilliant, and Binro's character contributes so much of that world building, because the very systems which cast him down there tell us so much about the place that in which this adventure happens. There you go. I'm going for Binro. Could be, why? Because Binro was right. Yes, he was. There you go, Geoff. That should have given you enough time to think.
Yeah. Well, I've been flicking through various characters in my mind. I'm gonna go with Carvanista.
Okay.
Because I really liked him. He was so grumpy and kind of belligerent and difficult about everything, but he had such a great sense of humour to him, even though it was kind of not, he wasn't sort of consciously funny, I think perhaps. And I like the relationship he had with Dan. It was a kind of mutual. I was going to say mutual dislike, but it perhaps started like that, but then it grew into a kind of mutual respect, didn't it? And I think they were actually sort of sad to see each other, go at the end. And Carvanista, he had there was quite a bit of kind of depth to him. When he finds out the rest of it, or thinks that the rest of his clan have died and things, and he howls there. And there's obviously more backstory with him and the Doctor, pre-Flux, where she's trying to find out things from him. Hence why they're dangling over Acid Planet at the beginning there. So I hope that at some point he'll come back and on audio perhaps, and we'll get to hear more of him. So and also I really liked Professor Jericho as well. He was great fun and quite popular. But those are characters who are sort of. They were in a couple of episodes. I always liked Rose's dad, Pete. As well. When you see him in Father's Day, it's quite a sort of tragic kind of story and end there, isn't it? And then obviously it sort of hugely affects Rose's whole life. And then when they go to the parallel Earth and he's there and he's successful and everything, and even across the dimensions, he still ends up with Jackie. And they,
it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah. So I liked him. He was a sort of kind of Del Boy type in a way.
He was, wasn't he? He was kind of a wheeler dealer.
Yeah,
and always picked the wrong thing to sell. But in the alternative, he was a successful businessman. Which
he was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was literally a nice parallel between them. So that was good fun. Yeah.
Let's throw this question back to our Quiz Master as well. So, Freya, do you have a favourite side character that you've seen in Doctor Who?
I don't know. Let me think. Wait a second. I was just sorting the cat out. Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
What's her name? Madame Vestra.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Madame Vestra.
And Madame Vestra.
Yes.
That's it. And Jenny. That's mine. There you go.
They're good, actually. Icons.
Yeah, lesbian icons.
There you go. Yeah, definitely.
The cat's meowing at the door.
Oh.
Yeah, you can stay there.
It's crying.
Right, okay, moving on.
Right, I'm going to do one of mine.
Go on in.
What is your favourite special episode? So like the Christmas specials, New Year's specials, David Tennant's specials, all the specials, Jodie's specials. I said special too many times.
So we're looking for specials here, are we?
Specials.
Okay. I like.
So let's do what's your favourite episode, because that's too broad.
I like the Snowmen a lot. I thought it was a really good, fun Christmassy episode, but also with a slight edge of kind of scares to it, with the sharp-toothed snowmen and the ice matron lady, and it also had a bit of a sort of fantasy element, with the Doctor living up in the clouds and stuff, and the the ladder coming down from the clouds and things, and then obviously we meet Clara's Victorian version for the first time, and she was a lot of fun in this one, and in some ways I wish we'd had that Clara, as instead of the modern day one, just because she was a little bit different, and there's also that great shot where she runs around the TARDIS, and then we go inside and reveal Eleven's new interior for the first time, which is a really impressive shot. So yeah, that one was a lot of fun. But I do have a soft spot for Resolution as well. It's just I think that's a great Dalek episode.
Special, doesn't it?
Does count as a special.
It does, yeah.
Special. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. I was going to say actually Power of the Doctor, because I think that classes as a special, doesn't it? It classes as a special. Yeah. It's on my special Steelbook Blu-ray of special, so that counts. And yeah, I would go for that actually, because that's got so many things that I enjoy about it. If it wasn't the Power of the Doctor, I would probably go Waters of Mars for my kind of dark Time Lord Victorious fix. But I also quite like Planet of the Dead as well, actually. That's another one that isn't generally kind of thought highly of, and it's just, but I like it because the setting's different. We've got the bus in the desert, and you've got the kind of this wave of relentless killing robot-y things,
like
swarm things, isn't they? Yeah,
ray type things, aren't they?
Semi-organic, part cybernetic, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And you got them weird fly creatures, and it's a bit of a laugh. And we got a one-off companion who's a bit of a cat burglar, Christina de Souza, isn't it? Played by I'll put myself in for it now.
Michelle Ryan.
Michelle Ryan, well done. And it's good. And in that one, the 10th Doctor's still quite light until right near the end.
Yeah.
We got a comedy turn from what's his name? Playing Malcolm.
Lee
Evans.
Lee Evans.
Lee Evans. Doing what Lee Evans does best. It's a lot of fun, actually.
I do like that one as a,
Yeah, it's not my favourite. I think my favourite at the moment has to be Power of the Doctor because it's quite recent and I'm still kind of getting over it.
If we're going to count that as a special, which we probably should, then I would take that as well. Yeah.
What one?
Power of the Doctor.
Power of the Doctor.
Yes, Power of the Doctor is a special.
Would you go for that one?
It's our show, and it can be a special.
Yeah, and we can make the rules as we go.
It's classed as a special. It was the centenary special.
Yeah, she's right. Actually,
you're right. Yeah,
the centenary special.
On the specials list.
We've all been calling it on social media the centenary episode.
And also,
the centenary special
ended on 3 specials. Yeah. That was her last special.
That's got a point.
Was it a special?
When teenagers are always right.
Well, not yet, but I'm sure I will.
Come on then. What's next?
Have a few more quicker ones. What? Who?
It's up to you. You're the quiz master. Quiz master. Jeff.
Yes.
What
me.
Children's game are the Weeping Angels based on? I just realised you get the hard one again.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Well done.
Is it?
Thanks.
Yeah.
What's that? I've never played that game.
Really?
I thought it was. What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
I thought it was that one Bill Bailey did on.
Grandmother's Footsteps. Grandmother's Footsteps. Why? On Richard Ayoade's question time.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
That's like what's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Is it the same game?
Well, you're one of the. Someone stands with their back to the rest of you, and the other kids go, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" And they go 1 o'clock, and you take one step forward, and then they, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" 4 o'clock, and you take X number of steps. And then the wolf has to sort of sense when they're near, and then you go, "What's the time, Mr. Wolf?" Dinner time, and you turn around and try and catch them. I play it with my kids.
Did you play this a lot?
I stand in the high street here and go, "Who wants to play? What's the time, Mr. Wolf?"
No, because you have to sense of how close they are, then you turn around and do it like
What, without looking at them?
Yeah, because you're facing
your back
and you
to
tell them how many
yeah.
steps to take, and you have to try and figure out how many steps it's taken to get to you.
If you're the wolf, you have to figure it.
Yeah, and if you're not, you'll have to try and not get eaten. So you either take really small steps or suddenly take a big step. Whatever.
Yeah. Is this how you guys pass the time in the 80s?
It's not in the 80s. It's rude. That makes you sound old.
I'm just messing.
And then the one you were about, that's like when you just keep walking and then someone will randomly turn around and you have to freeze, which is kind of like Weeping Angels.
The Grandmother's
as well.
Footsteps.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
That one. Yes. Okay.
So
I've never heard of that.
There's that one. Come on in, what's my incredibly difficult question
Right,
then?
it's not incredibly difficult.
So unfair.
When was having a female doctor first suggested?
Now...
What year?
I'm going to go with... I think it was Tom Baker who suggested it. Just when he handed in his notice. And I think he said it on a nationwide episode, which would have put it in 1980, 1979.
I think it goes earlier than that.
You think it's earlier? Okay. Go on.
Is there something with Sidney Lambert?
Sidney Newman. I think he mentioned it in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
when
maybe
people were looking to... I think he got involved in somehow, I don't know, in some kind of dialogue producer level, or some paper rang him up and asked him for his opinion on a few things.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
possibly. I don't know.
What year are you saying?
I'm going 1980 because I think it was very early 1980 when Tom Baker effectively announced that he was leaving. Was interviewed on Nationwide, and he said, they asked him, "Who do you think could be the next Doctor?" He says, "Well, I don't know, but of course anybody can play the Doctor. It could even be a woman or something like that."
It could be. But my sources tell me...
Yes.
Do you mean Google?
Yes. And Newsround, actually.
Oh, okay.
Newsround?
Okay. Newsround did a Doctor Who quiz in 2016, by the way, guys.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, is that where this comes from?
No, only like 2 questions. Right, anyway, it says 1986 when Sidney Newman
That's
suggested
what you were saying.
it.
Nah, it's before that. It's Tom Baker.
And because it was when Doctor Who was like losing, and she was like, "Oh, why don't we have a lady doctor?"
No, it was Tom Baker. Tom Baker, I'm sure then, since you put that, he was the one who first said that the next Doctor
I have Googled that.
could be a woman.
Said
I don't care what Google says. I'd say you need to question your sources.
Well, I'm sorry.
I want an umpire's decision on this one. Now, listeners, do let me know that, of course, I'm right. You know that I'm right. I would like to put a poll out there now. If you think Paul is right, which obviously he is.
There's a lot of stuff about Tom Baker saying that he likes the fact that there was a female doctor.
Yeah, but that's like now, isn't it?
Yes,
so, yeah,
I know that.
Yeah. Come on, listeners, back me up here. You know I'm right. And that Google is wrong.
Do they?
I don't know. This is just what I've been told.
It's a good one. Anyway, what's next? Is there another question?
Good question.
Yes, that is another question. Let's do
The time warp.
At a wet rock. Great
Wet.
username, I love it. If you had a Doctor Who spin-off commission, what would it be?
The Clara Show.
I didn't even think about that one.
It wouldn't be called the Clara Show. That's
Clara Show.
It would-
Introducing Doctor Who's old assistant, Clara something or other. She exists in many different forms. One day she's a governess. The next day she's a Dalek. Exterminate. Crowd goes wild. Loads of applause.
Yeah.
I see it should be done as like a One Division thing. All her different echoes can come in, play different parts through the ages.
It would be
awesome.
called Clara Echoes. That's what it would be called. Also, I think
That's
another
what it would
good
be
show
called.
would be Companions Anonymous, which is a spin-off from The Power of the Doctor.
Yeah, that could be kind of good actually. Yeah,
fronted by Graham / or Yaz, with a different companioning them each episode on an adventure.
So basically, you have Graham or Yaz or both, I think, and then they have a different companioning with them on an adventure.
Yeah, so it's an adventure-based thing.
Yeah. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, my idea was a little bit more boring than that. Well, no, just from what you said about the Companions Anonymous thing, I think about that could be a really nice character piece, a really nice drama piece. So, like, each episode takes one of those companions and just tells a brief kind of either like one day in their life which was important to them since leaving the Doctor, or before the Doctor, or during the Doctor, or looking at things from a slightly sideways look, or a kind of sort of compilation of the story, the things that happened to them when they left the Doctor and how they got to where they are now.
It would be
could be an adventure, it could be a heartfelt character piece, could be all those things.
It could be all of it in one. You could have a primary adventure, the A plot line, if you will, and then there could be flashbacks to other parts of their time, perhaps.
Yes, that could be a thing. See, I'm not thinking adventure though. That's why I'm saying mine's a little bit more boring. I'm thinking more kind of just character like EastEnders.
You've got to blow some stuff up,
Yeah, maybe. If it were me,
but it would be the present day setting would be Earthbound with the space or historical, etc. Flashbacks or whatever, and you'd never see the Doctor. You'd see, like the back of their head or something.
Back of the Doctor's head.
But the Doctor wouldn't be in it, so you'd see an adventure with the Doctor,
and you go, "Oh my God, that's the Doctor!" You'd sort of lose it for a bit. That'd be kind of cool. My spin-off, if you really want to hear, would be, because I must admit I did see this question earlier, and I had a little think about it, and I had in my head the Chronicles of Khan. Dun dun dun. So like the planet Khan with the Sisterhood and the Elixir and the Time Lords and everything else. There is a massive story to be told there. Massive story, and I see it with a budget of $1 billion an episode, and I want every episode to essentially look like Dune. Right? I want big, massive spaceships.
This man is obsessed with Dune.
I love Dune, but I want it to look dark. I want it to be heavy space opera type stuff. I want grandiose battles and everything. I want see those spaceships when they crash land on Khan. I want to see the sisters get tasty with aliens that burst out of their ships. I want to see the floating dirigibles of the Houthi sort of hove into the atmosphere, all ghostly and massive as they wage destruction in their search for the elixir of life. I want to see Time Lords, literally going at it. I want to see everything caught up in the Time War at some point. I think that would be
really good. Yeah.
But like proper, actual hardcore sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right. No, none of the fantasy stuff. None of this. Birthing dragons out of a moon that's an egg, or any of that nonsense. Right. Literal, proper, hardcore sci-fi. Good stuff like that. That's what I'll do. And they'd be like, and it'd be so good, right? It'd be so brilliant that only literally like 5 people in the whole world will watch it, and it'll become a cult. It'll be finished after one series, and forever in the annals of future TV, it will be referred to as, oh, that thing that was amazing, and they cancelled without realising its full potential.
Firefly.
No, Firefly was nothing like that.
Well, it was cancelled before.
Firefly is cowboys and Indians in space with Joss Whedon's dregs thrown at it. His scraps. Now, let's not get involved in that. I didn't like Firefly. Geoff does, obviously. We need to do that podcast, mate.
Yeah, I thought you were going to take a pot shot at Avatar there. I had my finger hovering over the leave button.
I would never do that. Freya knows I love Avatar to the core of my very soul.
You never do it on the podcast. Just in text. My fingers are... I've done packs. I've done packs with my fingers.
Come on, Freya, before Geoff beats me up.
Right.
Bosh.
What can... sorry.
Do you need to do like a vocal exercise? Get the old the jawbone and everything working. La 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 me 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 me. What do they do? You know that sort of stuff. What do they do, Geoff? You must get your actors to do that.
Yes, scales and stuff, and actually things.
Yeah,
I don't get involved in the process. I let them get on with it.
You always do tongue twisters in drama.
Do you? Amazing.
Anyway, Geoff,
Freya.
can you name all the foods that the 11th Doctor eats in his first episode?
Oh, that's a
with his
great
scene with Amelia
question.
Pond.
He throws an apple out the door. Paul, we only watched this a couple of weeks ago.
Take a bite out of an apple.
Yeah, he didn't like the apple.
It was a few months back now, mate.
Bacon.
Yeah,
fries bacon. Obviously, fish fingers and custard.
Scottish fry something. Fish fingers and custard, obviously.
Yeah. There's obviously 1 or 2 others I can't remember.
Hold on.
There's 3 more.
3 more.
Beans.
Beans, yeah.
Oh, he has them cold, doesn't he?
Yes. Yogurt.
1 more.
1 more.
No, I can't
Silence on the
Throws it out the
podcast.
door and says, "And stay out."
Oh yeah, what was
Is
that?
it a pear?
No, it's not a pear. It would be cool if it was a pear, but it's not a pear.
Yeah.
And stay out.
It's like a frisbee or something, isn't it? That he throws out. Is it a pancake or something?
No.
It's not an omelette.
Similar.
Omelette?
No.
Egg.
No.
Eggs.
It's
Wrap.
nothing to do with
I'm just guessing now.
What is it?
bread and butter.
Bread and butter. Oh, I love bread and butter.
Yeah.
Best thing in the world.
Good question. Good question.
Good question. Yeah.
What significant event happened the day before the first episode of Doctor Who aired?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. On the 22nd of November.
Yeah, President Kennedy was assassinated.
Well done.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
I know.
Shocker.
That's what you asked.
Where were you? Where were you,
questions.
Geoff, when President Kennedy was assassinated?
But a thought in the ether.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how many minus years I was.
Lots of minus years.
Minus 43, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you
Really?
weren't alive yet.
No, I wasn't alive then.
No.
Minus 43.
Minus 43.
Yeah, there you go. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Back on track with the podcast. This is amazing, this quiz. I can see our listeners are absolutely riveted to it.
I already know that Safe Space Who wants to partake in a Doctor Who pop
Does
quiz.
he?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Just give it to me. Just give it to me.
Because I know this one.
Is this
What's
after?
the last word you hear the fifth Doctor say?
That's one for you, Paul.
I don't even have to Google this, mate. I know this one. It's Adric. But I thought you were dead. Or is it? But I thought you were dead. But you died. Adric, but you died. So I think technically it's died. Which would be very appropriate, I think.
Yeah.
Or does he just say Adric?
Adric.
Died. No, do not. Don't go there.
Adric.
Adric, I love you.
Adric.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah.
You're Googling it, aren't you?
Well, because I have to check
Do you
you're
trust
correct.
my words? Honestly. It's Adric. That's a top story, that is. Caves of Androzani.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
It's so good. Yeah, it's never been beaten.
So I have the transcript up on my phone.
Yeah, maybe it was edited after they'd actually filmed it. What's the transcript say?
The transcript says, "Change, my dear," and it.
No, that's the Sixth Doctor.
You so the Fifth Doctor is
Dr. Adric.
I believe.
That's
I'm
it.
getting Dad to look.
You mustn't die, Doctor. You know that, Doctor.
Oh, I've watched
Adric.
this bit.
You mustn't die. Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is
was
Adric.
Adric.
According to that, I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't need any excuse to watch the Caves of Androzani. You haven't watched it yet, have you, Freya?
No.
I need to introduce
I've watched
you
the
to it.
regeneration scene.
Have you? Yeah. Jeff's seen it loads of times, haven't you, mate?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This next one.
Come on, what was
from
the other one?
Cooper.
I'm
Excludes
sure I like Cooper.
the
This looks
Sonic-
like all our questions come from Cooper.
Yeah, he's also had a bit of a field day on
He
here,
did.
hasn't he? Picking up these things.
Yeah, it was like
Excluding-
400 questions in a row.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. Excluding the Sonic, Psychic Paper and TARDIS, which prop from the show would you love to have?
Oh, go on then, Jeff.
This
This is one for you, I'm sure.
a prop that I'd like to have.
Does he mean, do you think, like just a prop as a sort of memento, or the actual thing that it's
Well,
supposed to
someone
be?
has replied, Tony Filer, and says the latest
Tony.
version of the Master's TCE.
TCE. Do you know what that is?
Tissue compression.
Compression isn't the word. You told me this literally like a few hours ago.
Seeing how good your memory is.
I'm ill.
I don't know what I'd have. If it was an actual thing from the show,
Yeah.
I think it's like
So if
some
you
sort of technology, I feel
like a
If you would
Kablam
guess-
Man
you like the
helmet
actual-
or something.
what?
A Kablam Man head would be quite
Oh, that's a
cool.
good one. Yeah, Kablam Man head. That's quite
Yeah.
distinctive, isn't it? Yeah. I think the body of a mutoid. Actually, no, mutoids. The mutant in just a mutant.
What a
I don't
Dalek
care what
one.
episode it's from. A mutant, just something I could squirrel out and say, slap it onto my wall. Yeah, the Dalek would be a good one, wouldn't it? It's sort of the Dalek
Yeah.
I feel like that's
puppet
not a
prop.
prop.
Yeah, of course it's a prop. Yeah, it's or is it
Them-
CGI? Anyway,
They're not
whatever.
real.
Yes, they are real. They are. The
Real
Daleks
to
are
me.
real. I've been in fear for them since I was 7 years old. Good one. Nice question. Thank you for
Yeah,
that, Cooper.
very good.
Oh, Jeff, you've replied to this one.
Oh,
So
did I?
Ah.
You mean I've answered it already?
Which Yaz outfit is your favourite?
Oh, I always like Yaz's space buns, on her hair. That's not an outfit, I know, but that always looked quite cool.
That's a hairstyle, Jeff.
Yes, it is. That's why I said it's not an outfit. I actually don't really know the answer to that.
Have you got a favourite Yaz outfit, Freya?
Sea Devils.
Sea Devils. Oh, yeah, that's
She
pretty
didn't even
cool.
have to
Yeah,
think about that one.
yeah,
She was straight in there.
straight
Sea
in
Devil.
there.
I
Yeah,
like it.
What's
They're-
she wearing
they're-
in the Sea Devil?
they were always pretty good. She dresses pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got some good outfits. I
Yeah.
like the sort of turn of the century, the Edwardian outfit. That's the Edwardian adventurer's outfit that she wears. That's kind of cool with the hats.
Yeah, yeah.
That sort of boater hat.
Yes,
and
that is a
all
good
the-
look, actually. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, that really-
you're
really
right,
suited
Freya, I
Mandip.
think. Yeah, that ensemble in Legend of the Sea Devils. What's that, like a maroon kind of thing? It's very nice. Yeah, it's good actually. But I would go for the Edwardian adventurous. You're going for Sea Devils.
Yeah.
Jeff is going for
space buns.
Space buns. Excellent. Nice one. Okie dokie. Brilliant. This is a lot of fun.
I've got some more. Wait a second. No, looking.
Stop cheating.
Honestly, the cheat.
Stop
There.
cheating, human scum.
Okay. What is your favourite Master story?
Oh, that's a really good one. Is that one of yours?
Yeah, it's one of mine. My own creation from my brain.
Oh, have you got a favourite Master story?
I'll think on
You
it.
can think one up.
You think of it?
Yeah.
I like the demons a lot. As you know, I like I like a spooky Who, and I always enjoy that one a lot. And I kind of all of Sacha Dhawan's ones are really good. But he was excellent in Power of the Doctor. And then if I was going to think of Missy, probably Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. That's great. That two-parter.
Yeah.
And then other classic ones. I was thinking Narani. Really. The Sea Devils with the Third Doctor. That one where they have their sword fight and stuff, and he's watching the clangers. It's great.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I would go for a couple from the classic series. I mean, I'm an absolute sucker for Legopolis and Castrovalva. I'm going to claim that as one story because Castrovalva picks up right where Legopolis finishes and continues the Master's diabolical plan, sort of. His diabolical plan to bring the universe to an end. Well, actually, it was a bit accidental in Legopolis. He didn't mean to do it. He's very sorry. So he starts doing something else in Castrovalva.
I'm so sorry.
but I love that. I don't think we've ever got. Well, we probably have in the modern series, actually, but in the old series, Christopher Bidmead writing the last of the Fourth Doctors and the first story of the Fifth Doctor back to back as a continuing story almost. I love that. So those are good. But having said that, the Master isn't his best in there, I don't think. I think Anthony Ainley's Master, although actually it's Geoffrey Beevers thinking about it. So I'm rambling off a bit. The Keeper of Traken, which happens before both of those stories, is brilliant. I think that's where the Master is really at his darkest, I think, his most manipulative. And Geoffrey Beevers has that wonderful, deep tone to his voice that rumbles on, in the bass levels. It's just silken, golden, smooth. And I think that was probably the first Master story that I'd ever seen.
Right.
In sort of growing up and that. And I think I remember being entranced by it. Because he's that stone statue out in the garden, the Melker, and the statue moves and it fires like laser beams from its eyes, and it turns out the Melker's a TARDIS, and then it's the Master, and it's a big reveal when he comes in and then becomes the Keeper of Traken and has access to all this power. I loved that when I was a kid, and I've seen it a lot of times, and I do like it a lot. So that would be my one from the classic series. Having said that, I love Frontier in Space, which is Roger Delgado's final story as the Master, and I totally love Sacha Dhawan's stories, but I think out of the modern series, I'm going to go for The World, Enough and Time and The Doctor Falls, because we get two Masters in that one. We get Missy and the Master, and we get that wonderful moment where they kill each other and laugh at the irony of it. I love that. And John Sims' Master's kind of insanity against Missy's almost redemptive quality. The Doctor is starting to pull her towards being a good person. He's having a really positive effect, having locked her up in his little room for all that series and bringing her out and almost putting her in charge of the story that leads to his own death. I think that's and Bill's tragedy as well. All of those things are wrapped up in that story, and it's almost as though the Master's fate is unavoidably entwined with tragedy. Like the Master cannot be a good person because their life is almost like there's nothing they can do. They can try and redeem themselves and whatever, but darkness surrounds them. But in a way, that mirrors the Doctor as well. Darkness surrounds the Doctor in death and destruction, and yet the Doctor maintains a positive position, a positive outlook, and empowerment. This need to be good, this need to bring the best out of people, this need to empower people and rise up and take control and never be afraid of the shadows. And the Master can't do that. It always ends in death and destruction. So, and that's not to say it doesn't for the Doctor often either, but the Doctor manages to find a way through it and beyond it. Whereas the Master becomes lost in all that turmoil and madness. And I think that there's no other story which I think shows that more clearly than that final two-parter of the 12th Doctor. So that would be mine. What about you, Frey? Spyfall. Nice and easy.
Spyfall. I was thinking about it, and I love Missy. She's great in all her wonderful glory. I really do like Missy. I do like the Doctor Falls, like you were saying. I have a very hard time remembering episode titles, so I'm not very good at that. But I really like Missy. But Spyfall, I smiled throughout basically the entire show.
Yeah, it's really good.
The way it's just so good. I like it.
That reveal at the end of part 1.
But then you went about the first Master story you saw. And I was trying to think what mine was. I think it was, what's it called, Daddy? The John Sim one.
Oh, yes.
Sound of the Drums?
No, actually, I think your first one would have been the one I've been talking about. It would have been Missy. Because you started watching Doctor Who with Series 10, didn't you?
Bill.
With Bill, and Missy was kind of there throughout, and then she was revealed at the end of that series.
Yes, my first one would have been Missy.
And then
that's probably why I like Missy. She's just so great.
Which is why when we went back to watch the modern series,
I was like, "Where's the Master Man?"
I was pretty terrible. In Series 4 with John Saxon. And there's a couple of episodes, I think the Lazarus Experiment, which I said...
let me watch them.
We can't watch this one.
I still haven't watched them.
Because she would have recognised, John Sim being the Master straight away, because she'd seen it.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't want you to lose that kind of...
I still haven't watched those episodes. We keep saying we'll watch them, and I still haven't done it.
Yeah, but Spyfall.
So you were just like, we'll just skip these episodes. Like, it's fine. It was like,
I'm a terrible father.
It's like you were just like, it's fine. Just don't watch them. Because we did skip a few.
I did, but that was to spare you from spoiling your surprise at seeing the Master.
Yeah, that was worth it. Yeah,
that's what it is.
It was okay.
So when Derek Jacobi becomes John Sim,
I've gotten over it.
And actually, do you remember we were watching Utopia? Sorry, we were watching Utopia.
I had my vaccine today.
And you thought Utopia was really boring. And I'm like, no, don't. And you start going on your phone, and I'm like, no, Freya, don't. Stay with it, babe. Stay with it.
Just wait.
Because it's all going to pay off.
Utopia.
It's all going to pay off. It was Derek Jacobi playing the Master, and it was Captain Jack was back in. And the actual story, I must admit, I think is a little bit dull. But you were losing interest. I didn't want you to lose interest before the big reveal, so I had to try.
Yeah, it's a great end.
I don't remember
it's
losing.
brilliant.
I remember being a bit bored, but I don't remember going on my phone.
Yeah.
I go on my phone. Next question.
Teenagers, they talk so fast, Jeffrey. I'll tell you.
They do.
Dad, you can have this one.
Go on then.
It's easy. You can do this.
I like an easy one.
And what does the 13th Doctor mistake the US president for in Arachnids in the UK?
Oh, are you Ed Sheeran? Are you Ed Sheeran? Everyone's talking about Ed Sheeran this time, aren't they? Ed Sheeran.
He's the president of the United States of America.
Really?
Ed Sheeran?
Oh, Ed Sheeran.
No.
Yes. Brilliant. One of the 13th Doctor's finest moments.
So good.
Love it. I love all that. Yes.
And then, Jeff, I have a final one for you, and then we will go to this one on Twitter. Because you love Clara so much, here we go. Who does she say is the first person she ever fancied?
Ooh.
Oh. God, how embarrassing. I don't remember. No, I can't remember.
I don't know what episode this is in. I'm trying to find out.
Clara Stan. Oh,
who is it?
That, actually.
Wait a second.
First person she
I'm trying
ever
to find out
fancied.
what episode it's in.
Is it in? Is it in? It's a 12th Doctor one, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like? Is it actually
It's
the
Asylum of the Daleks.
Oh, okay.
It's Oswin, not Clara.
It's Oswin. That's maybe why he doesn't know it then.
It is Oswin.
It's Oswin. I am.
I'm seeing a reflection of the computer screen in your browser, mate.
I saw it. Hang on, where was it? The first person she ever fancied was a girl named Nina, although she dismissed it as going through a phase.
Because she says, what is it? Rory. Oh, the first boy I ever fancied was called Rory, and actually she was called Nina.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So there you go. It was Nina. We love Clara.
Interesting. Very good.
Can't be queer. Anyway, so you wanted to end with this one? No, we'll just okay.
Go on in.
Dennis Gill 10. You put the mouse over it. What is the best way to do a Doctor Who animated series?
I'd go for hand drawn, pencil, inked and painted.
That one, actually.
Go on. I would go as an animated series. I'd love to see Doctor Who done anime style, fast cut action, lots of streaks, dynamic poses, fast zooms.
Do you know what? I'm not a big fan of animation.
You know,
He loves anime.
That's what they do all the time.
yeah, I love all that. Yeah,
Do you really?
talking really fast. Yeah, mate, I do. I was kind of into it back in the day.
I've never really got into it, and I quite like the live action versions of stuff, but I don't like the style of the actual anime.
I
really.
love the start. Battle of the Planets. I think that was like the first anime that I ever saw, and it was so much more dynamic than anything else that was on, apart from Dogtanian and the four.
Three Musketeers. Hounds.
Musketeers. It's not that. Go on. What's his last question
this
then?
One. I keep meaning to ask you this one, but I keep forgetting. Arachnids in the this is from at 3 points and a prayer. So they say Arachnids in the UK is one of their favourite guilty pleasure Doctor Who stories. Do you have any?
What's yours and why?
What's yours and why? Do you have guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure Doctor Who story.
You don't have to be guilty about it, because
I don't see why you should
watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, why should you feel guilty because you enjoyed something just because other people
Just
might
what's
rag on
your
something?
comfort story, I'm changing
Yeah.
it a bit too.
Okay.
Okay, that's a better questioning of it. A comfort one. God, I really like Smith and Jones. I've watched that quite a lot. It's good fun. I like Tooth and Claw a lot. I've watched Flux in its entirety because it's really one long episode, a couple of times.
6 parts, yeah.
Yeah, I have quite a few really. I suppose if I had to say one that I'd go back and watch more than anything, I've watched Resolution quite a few times. Now I like that a lot. Smith and Jones, I've watched that a number of times.
Jones, yeah. Yeah.
Your turn.
For me, I'm going to go with the guilty pleasure thing, actually, because I'm going to go with the Horns of Nymon, which I love. So this is a story, I don't know if you've ever seen it, mate, but this story got slated back in the day when I was growing up. It was too much. It's a season 17 story. And I do recall a lot of the fans of the time. I was way young, but they all hated this. They thought this was pantomime Doctor Who. It did go out at Christmas, over Christmas, I believe, and it ended. It was the series finale, except it wasn't. The series finale was actually Sharda, but Sharda was never finished because of industrial action and everything else. So the whole of season 17, which was quite light-hearted. It was script edited by Douglas Adams, and he'd had more than a hand in a few of the stories. And it was very, very jokey. Tom was kind of just doing his thing. And the Horns of Nymon kind of just typifies that whole style. It is literally like a theatre production. People in big costumes stomp around on a stage set that looks like a theatre set. It's really, really cheap. You know it's a studio floor. It still looks like a studio floor. It is... There's boom shadows. Graham Crowden playing the bad guy just hams it up like the evil genie in Aladdin. It's all of that stuff that Doctor Who can be really good at, actually, but it can do really badly, but be good at doing it badly. It's that. They're all hamming it up. Nobody's taking it seriously, not even Tom Baker, not even David Brearley, who's voicing K9, except for one person, for one actor in all of that who takes it deadly seriously and is absolutely fantastic in it, and that's Lala Ward playing Romana. Essentially, because everyone else, all the blokes are having a bit of a jolly, Romana plays the Doctor. And she does it brilliantly. And I would always argue that Romana in The Horns of Nymon gives us our first glimpse of how brilliant a female Doctor would be.
Right.
And she does it. She's even wearing an outfit that looks like the Doctor could, it's the long tailcoat and a scarf.
Yeah.
And she drives that story. Literally, Tom Baker and Graham Crowden are just having a bit of a jolly, whereas Romana goes off and drives the story. And I remember seeing an interview with Anthony Reid, who was a script editor of the Key to Time series, the series before it. And he said he'd written this thing as actually quite a dark piece. And it is, the story, it's a great story, but the performance doesn't sell it at all. But it kind of does, because actually, if it was really, really dark, it would be too dark. And the levity, it is a little bit much, but it's so much fun. And as I said, Lala Ward is so brilliant. So I would always champion the Horns of Nymon, and that is always one of my guilty pleasures. So there you go. I'm going to end on that one. You happy with that?
Yeah.
There we go. Brilliant.
Let's say mine.
So who wins then? Yes, go on in, Freya. What's yours?
When you felt off.
Which one?
That's a comfort story, isn't it?
I don't have any guilty pleasures.
No, quite right.
I didn't catch that, Freya. What did you say?
Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I
Great.
really
Great
like
one.
first stories. I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, Woman Who Fell to Earth, 11th Hour, Rosa, Pilot, and I was like, wait, that's some people's first. I think I like first stories. I like Rosa.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla's good, but Woman Who Fell to Earth wins it.
Oh yeah, I do like
If I
Nikola
was
Tesla
sad,
as well.
I'd put on The Woman Who Fell to Earth or Nativity.
Yeah.
All Nativity.
That's not Doctor Who, but still.
No,
Oh, the second
my
one's got
kids have
David
been
Tennant,
watching
hasn't
that.
Second one
Yeah, it
doesn't
has.
have
Twice.
Yeah, my kids have
He
been
seems
watching
to do that lately. You can't just
Yeah, he
play
does,
one
yeah.
character. He's
Yeah.
got to play two in one show, or the same character twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do? Okay, so to finish off this lovely little podcast, we have from Aidan CG01. What are your hopes for the 60th anniversary episode and series 14 onwards? What are your hopes for the future of Doctor Who?
Big
Now, Geoff, I've
question.
heard you're very sad about this.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
You weren't ready to see 13 go, were you? Really?
well, no, I wasn't really. No, not at all. I kind of wish we'd gone straight to Shooty. Sorry. I am very excited for all of that. I think he's brilliant. He comes across so well. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. I hope he brings his a lot of himself to it. I think he'll be great fun. I'm excited for the show seems to be gaining in scale. The Disney Plus stuff is brilliant, even if they're not funding it, which I don't really think they are. I think they're literally just effectively distributing it, streaming it. It's still brilliant, and they're putting backing behind it the way they do with anything that they buy, to show there. And I expect to be pleasantly surprised by the 60th and those 3 episodes, and I think there'll be a lot of surprises and a lot of things that we don't know. And whilst I'm not, I worry that David coming back will undo what he did as 10, and I'm not really sold on someone coming back as another incarnation, but I look forward to being surprised.
Yeah.
And proven wrong. That's what I want. My worries to be unfounded. That's more accurate.
So you hope your hopes for the 60th anniversary episode are that your worries prove to be unfounded.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
and
a
I'm
good
sure
one.
in a year's time, it's 24th of November today, and in a year's time we might well. Actually, I don't think the episode will probably go out on the 23rd of November because it's a weekday next year. It'll be a weekend probably, but I hope when we record our follow-up review, I'll say, "Do you remember a year ago? I was so wrong." So that's what I hope. David's brilliant. I love his Doctor. Russell T Davies does great work. So it's not a lack of confidence in any of the individual elements. It's just something to me about going back. And I just it would have been the same if Capaldi had Jodie had regenerated into Capaldi. Why? But yeah, I worry that too much nostalgia can be a bad thing. So
Yeah, I get it, but I think the 60th is all about nostalgia. It's 60 years of Doctor Who. No other.
It's 60 years, not 1 year.
This longevity.
That was going to be one of my questions.
Oh, was it?
How many world records does Doctor Who hold? And they have 2.
Which are?
which are, I think one of them was like the longest running
gotta be
sci-fi TV.
For some reason, a few years back, somebody said it was, or officially it was Stargate or something.
They've had a few world records, but they have currently hold 2.
Is one of them the longest run of years between appearances in a TV show for
something?
I don't know, but for Doctor Who is the longest running science fiction TV series.
Hooray!
And also most successful sci-fi TV show.
How do they work on success and how do they measure that?
The latter of which is based on a number of factors, including DVD sales, internet views, and beats its closest rival, Star Trek.
See, that's interesting. And there's lots and lots of Star Trek shows now. Well, mostly just finished, but there's been 4 or 5 of.
There's 871 episodes of Doctor Who.
Is there how many?
Wow. 871.
800. That's a lot, isn't it?
I found that out in my research today.
Did you? Well done. You see, this is it. You give Freya a project and she follows it right the way through.
Yeah,
that's very good. That's very tenacious. But. So going back to
your hopes and dreams,
the hopes for the 60th anniversary episode, I agree with you, Geoff, that my hope is that I'm pleasantly surprised.
I'm definitely more ready for it before,
Yeah.
About the clothes.
But the clothes. Yeah, okay, the clothes thing is annoying, but I kind of hope that we're going to see something really spectacular and something amazing.
It's going to be good.
Yeah,
to be honest. It's going to be good.
And I think, but series 14, I think, is that for me is when the show is going to really pick up again. Because I look at the 60th as a bit of a nostalgia fest, a celebration of previous Doctor Who or whatever it is, and some kind of glimpse into what's going to happen next. But series 14, when we'll get new logos, new theme tune again, arrangement, and we've got a new companion.
In like 2 years.
It's going to be 2024. Wow.
That's not right. Are we doing my A-levels?
Yeah.
That's not okay. I cannot wait that long, people.
Yeah, you can. It just goes, honestly.
It's a while away, isn't it?
I haven't done anything yet.
But it's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Neil Patrick Harris's character.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
I love Neil Patrick Harris.
He looks very sinister, and he looks very much like, I know
gay icon.
Online it's been pointed out he looks like the MC from Cabaret, the film with Liza Minnelli from the 60s.
Yeah.
But if he's, which is always for me has been a really scary character, that idea of someone in some sinister figure in a top hat. And he seems to embody that. So I'm really intrigued as to what's going to happen there.
Seems quite chaotic as well, and I feel like I'm ready for the chaos.
You're ready for the chaos.
My mind is going to be chaos, and by that point.
And I love the fact we saw a glimpse of Ncuti's Doctor in the trailer.
So it reminds people, he's still going to be the Doctor.
He's still there. Yeah.
He's still here, people.
So maybe what the 60th actually is going to be is kind of almost like an extended first Doctor story. Right, an extended story which features. I'm making a mess of this. You know what I mean?
You can't.
It's the.
It's 10:30. It's getting late.
Goodness. Is it 10:30? It really is getting late. But I think it's going to be amazing. Whatever
it'll be good.
It'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And so, important question is though, who wins the quiz, Frey?
I think Geoff wins.
What?
Oh, thanks, Frey. Well, I'll
decision.
I'll
challenge you to another round, mate. But of this, maybe we'll get some of our friends involved and have another go at it.
We should get more people in doing this one, shouldn't we? And we will keep a tally next time. We'll keep score.
Yes,
and guarantee
with questions that the answers can have points to them. Because a lot of this was our opinions.
Told me not to.
I never did tell you not to. I never did. I didn't say don't do points. I did not.
You said get more discussion questions.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, that's what we'd said. Yeah,
that's what we'd said. Yeah, I'll sort of mix it up a bit, which I think you did.
Yeah, no, it's been really good.
I know. It's been really good. So talented.
Yeah, well done, Freya.
A big round of applause to our Quiz Master Freya. Well done.
Well done.
On that note, shall we say goodbye to our listeners?
Yep.
And we
thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. In whatever our next episode is going to be.
Yeah.
We don't know. We haven't planned it yet. It's going to be great.